A common calamity that you can experience while you're on the road is getting a flat tire, so we've decided to run with that and make it today's auto tip. We're back with Bob Gugino of Bison Automotive. Now Bob, you're going to walk me through the process of changing a tire. We're on the road, we get that flat, where should we start?
Okay, the first thing you got to do is, of course, make sure you're in a safe neighborhood and that the ground is nice and level and that you're in a secure spot away from traffic or any other obstacles that might get in your way or that might be unsafe.
All right, so we pull over to the side of the road. The scene is safe. We can start changing that tire. What's the first step for that?
The first thing we need to do is consult our owner's manual. If we don't know already where the jack and the spare and all that is located, and also the lifting points for the vehicle. So we've got the jack underneath the car here, and we've took a little pressure off the tire so we can go ahead and loosen the lug nuts. So we're going to go ahead and loosen these lug nuts one by one. Not enough to have the tire come off, but just enough so we can jack the car up the rest of the way and remove them by hand.
All right, so they're all off. Now it's time we can just pop this tire right on.
Yeah, I'll take the tire off, roll it away out of our way.
So what should we be doing with that tire? Is that something we want to put in our trunk and just keep with us?
Yeah, well, we're going to want to get the tire fixed at some point, so we're going to need to put that tire back where we took the spare out. Now we're going to need to install the spare. We need to line up our wheel studs here. Put that at the top, this one here. At the top, install the tire, take our lug nuts by hand, one at a time, install them.
Now is this to make sure that everything lines up and that the tire's flush?
Yeah, to make sure that everything lines up, but more importantly, why you're doing this by hand is so we don't strip the lug nuts out. Because if we can't get the tire tight onto the vehicle, it's no good, we won't be able to drive it. So once we got them all hand tight with a couple of threads, we want to turn each one in until they won't go anymore. Once we completed that, what we're going to need to do is bring the car down a little bit so we have some pressure on the tire so we can go ahead and then tighten up the lug nuts.
Now Bob, why is it important that we lower it before we tighten these nuts?
You have to have the weight on the tire, because if you don't, what will happen is the tire, of course, will just spin when you're trying to tighten them up. So each one in a cross pattern, not in a circle all the way around, but you cross diagonal when you tighten things up. So this way they're nice and even, and there's no chance of anything coming loose. The next step we're going to want to do, of course, is to lower the car down. Once the jack is clear, it's loose, you pull the jack out from underneath the car, and we're basically finished. We just need to put everything away, and we're good to go. We know to take the tire to a repair shop and have it taken care of.
And how long can you drive on a spare tire before you really want to get that checked out?
A tire as of this, which is actually the most common, they call that a save-a-spare, are good for up to 50 miles an hour, and you could probably go 100 miles or so without really wearing it out, but it is a temporary spare. It's really not something that should be left on the car for any length of time.
All right, as always, Bob, thank you so much for having us and taking that edge off of the things that we might encounter on the road.
No problem, that's my job.
Yeah, we'll be able to